Yeah. Yeah. You know what it is. That straight kingdom talk, baby. You know how I'ma do it. Right. And I ain't going nowhere. 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 So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Watch me hit him with this 1-2 knockout KO. This time it's all or nothing, and I ain't playing around. They tried to overlook me cause I wasn't in the in crowd. Well, I'm back at it, so you know it's going down. And I'm all up in their face, so they gotta see me now with that raw lunch.
What is up, everybody? It is your ever-loving Uncle Fish back at you again live on this beautiful Friday night. The rest of the five-star crew is busy making it happen, making it shake and jiggle, and man, they're getting stuff done out there. They're getting prepared for cons. They're taking amazing trips. They're going to do all kinds of awesome stuff. So what does that mean? What does that mean is going to happen when it's just your Uncle Fish? Oh, that means I've got you for 60 minutes of playtime. That means it's going to be all Alice all the time, baby. We're going to be talking about the coolest book in indie comics available now. Go, MrFish.com. Let's pull it up and see where we are right now. Look at that, baby. We're at 3146. We are creeping along. This has been an amazing campaign. I am so impressed with the way this one is run. Usually campaigns have that big dead spot in the middle, like as much as 2 weeks sometimes, where just nothing happens. Or if you get a backer and then somebody else drops off, like it's just sitting there dead calm water usually for like a good week or two in the middle of the campaign. So much so that a lot of other creators have gone to just cutting that 2 weeks out of the campaign and shorten it down to a 2-week campaign to start with. I've ran 2-week, 3-week campaigns and done every bit as good as I do with a month-long campaign. Honestly, the only reason I'm doing month-long campaigns anymore right now is because you got to work twice as hard to get stuff done in a 2-week campaign. I can work a little less hard with the, hey, it's your Uncle Fish out there on podcasts all the time, trying to get the word out, trying to get out there to new fans. I can work a little less hard on that stuff all day, every day during the campaign. I get a little bit more work done on the books and on client books and things like that. Keep the rent paid, keep the mortgage up to date, all that good stuff. So I've started taking a little bit easier on myself on the promotion side and let it be a little bit longer campaign. But boys and girls, the amazing news is this time, oh baby, this campaign, this is the first time to date on any campaign I think I've ever worked on where there hasn't been a dead zone. There was one day that I went backwards. One day I had one dropped pledge and that was it. Like no new pledges. There was one day. Every other day has been a slow, steady, creeping climb. That's unheard of. I've never had a campaign as of yet go the full time without just dropping dead in the middle. I'm really impressed. Now, has it gone record-breaking numbers and I'm going to have to bring in all my friends in indie comics and put them on the payroll full time so we can get all these thousands of books shipped out to all these hungry, voracious new readers that can't wait to get their hands on Alice issue 3? I wish. And not so much yet, but this is a huge improvement. I'm really impressed. This shows slow, steady growth. This shows that things are working in my favor. We had a great first day. I mean, we didn't get one of those, we were backed in 30 minutes kind of things. But also, I set a realistic goal for what I really need to get this book done and produced, get it out there into everybody's hands, get it printed and everything, get it shipped. Like, I didn't set like a really low goal and then just hope we get to where we needed to be. I set a realistic goal, like bottom line, what I need to make it happen. So I'm really impressed. I'm excited that we got here. We've still got a week left to go. The whole thing is going to end on next week's show, Friday, August the 29th, on this show right here. It is going to happen right here, live and in charge, baby. It's going to be cool. We're going to see it out at the end of the show. But you have 1 week left to come hang out, get in on Alice 1 through 3. If you've missed the awesomeness, that is this beautiful, blonde, bloodthirsty bombshell bounty hunter killing her way across the multiversal rift that is Wonderland on the hunt for her adopted father, then you need to get on board, baby. Now is your chance to go check it out. Go, MrFish.com. We'll take you right there. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Let me check on that. Little Sarah sent me a message. Says the music's too loud. Which could absolutely be. Let me see. Where is it? Let me turn it down a little bit there. See how that goes. Speaking of Little Sarah from up north. How are you doing, Sarah?
Hi, I'm good.
Welcome to the amazing show that is 5-Star Fridays, when Uncle Fish gets to take over and do whatever he feels like. How are you doing?
I'm super good. I haven't been on 5-Star in a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It has been a minute. Let's see. I've got to move this because I moved it earlier and I stuck my camera right in front of Sarah, and that's not going to work. That's just not going to work. I need to be able to see who I'm talking to. Yeah, I was alone, Brad Arnie, but you know, when you got friends like Sarah that you can call last minute and be like, hey, you're not busy, right? Why don't you come on and hang out? It's been it's like that. I totally didn't just hit her up a couple of minutes ago. No, I wouldn't do that. I'm more concerned.
Do you
I
ever get
appreciate
down?
you coming on and hanging out.
Hey, no problem. Do you ever get down to the part of your chapstick that you really love and like it's not quite enough to roll up anymore?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hate that part. And like you're scraping the plastic across your lips and stuff.
Yeah, and then I'll like use my fingernail, like grow my fingernail a little too long so that I can scoop it out like I'm doing drugs or something.
Yeah, just give me 1 second here.
That's the good stuff.
Like those kids that would just chow down on the chocolate chapsticks and stuff in school, eat them like they're freaking candy.
Why did they make them taste so good? That's stupid, right?
They also made it taste like wax.
That's
But
true.
that wasn't enough of a deterrent when they stick wax in half of our candies anyway.
Yeah, that is also true. It's really cheap that way, I guess. I don't know.
Man, that is not a rabbit hole you want to go down because
No.
I realized as I started looking into it, beeswax is like the most expensive type of wax you could put into stuff like that, but the really cheap wax, well, that comes from petroleum products like crude oil. That's really cheap and easy to stick into your food. And then once you start looking at how many things we eat that have petroleum byproducts in it, oh, that hurts my belly just thinking about it.
And man, you'll get half the world saying that's terrible for you, and you get another half of the world saying it's just fine. And I guess when you think about it, everything's chemicals. So whatever.
I mean,
but
everything
like
is.
also chocolate chips. You don't remember chocolate chapstick?
Oh man.
It
remember
still
being
exists. I'm
tempted,
pretty
too.
sure you can still get the brown sticks that say Hershey's on them. It's not real chocolate, but it smells nice. I don't remember why I ever thought it tasted nice, but it smells nice.
Oh, it definitely smells like cocoa. I don't know how much flavor. I don't know. Like, I know it smells good, and I know I would go through a lot of it in a day, but I never did just. I will admit, when I was little, like before school, I got into my sister's toy lipsticks for like her modeling, her head that she had that you could like do the hair and the makeup on Barbie and whatnot. And it had all these little toy lipsticks, which she was apparently using as real lipsticks. I was unaware of this. Maybe Dad didn't want her wearing makeup or something. I don't know. I can't remember details that far back, but I do remember getting into them and eating them all. I don't know why, but I ended up eating them all, and I got a heck of a spanking when she yelled at my dad that I ate all of her lipsticks. And
That's fair.
Oh man. I miss my sister, but boy, she got me in some trouble.
Well, what kind of siblings don't get you in trouble, right?
Oh man, she
Brad,
got me.
do you have a Five Below near you? Because that's where I always see him. Is Five Below.
Oh yeah, Five Below has
Yeah.
all the weird, awesome stuff. I'm kicking myself because I went in Five Below one time, and they had just stacks upon stacks of How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way for $5 a piece, and I loved that book so much. I wore the cover off of my first copy. I've given away my personal copy like 3 times and had to rebuy it for like $20 or $30 a piece or whatever each time. And then I saw a whole stack of them at Five Below for $5 a piece, and I'm still kicking myself to this day because I was like, oh, it was one of my first times ever going in there. I was like, oh, they just stocked this for $5. I'll come back and get some later. No, it was a temporary thing they had right then, and I didn't know that. And
I didn't realize they're very much like the dollar stores where they're like they get a bunch of a thing in, and then when it's gone, it's gone. And yeah, if you would have known, I know you would have bought all of them.
oh man, if I'd have known that was the way it was, I would have put myself in a bad financial spot buying as many copies as I could right then, so I would have them on hand to give away for the next few years. You know,
I
because
believe it. Yeah.
there's always some kid that's wanting to learn to draw or getting into the idea of making comics, and it was such an inspiration for me. Maybe it's not as big an inspiration for the younger generations now as some of the How to Draw manga books and stuff are, but for people of like my generation, it was like instrumental in teaching us how comics were made, how everything was supposed to go together, and it's the whole reason that I do things now, like Alice Lost in Wonderland, issues 1 through 3, available now at GoBusinessFish.com.
Oh, you're funded. I just saw that. Oh, you're funded.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
funded.
I remember this morning you said something about it, or yesterday night. I don't remember. Yeah,
Yeah, it
you're
was
funded.
last
That's
night.
cool.
Last
Awesome.
night on my live stream, we got funded finally.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I checked, and you were like, because you said something about being like 96% of the way there, and I went and checked just to see, and I thought, oh yeah, you're definitely gonna fund. You're gonna get there, and then
Oh yeah, I
this
mean,
morning,
I wasn't worried about getting
It's
there.
just
It's just, you know,
that
I hit
y'all
that,
don't-
that one day, and this is the
Yeah.
first campaign where I haven't had like a big dead zone. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
been a slow, steady creep of a couple of backers
Ooh.
every day.
That's
And
awesome.
Usually it peters off, and then I got like a week or two there where you get maybe 2 backers and you lose 2, and it's basically a wash. But this is the first time. It was one day is the only time so far I haven't had a backer, and I lost one $30 backer, and it was a little disheartening that day because like I knew the guy and I'd just been talking to him, but you know, things happen, things come up.
Yeah.
It just, you know. But also, like, I was also running myself ragged. I streamed live for like 15 hours in 2 days,
I noticed.
trying to get the word out, trying to let people know any way I can about Alice Lost in Wonderland, available now at GoBusinessFish.com.
Wait, what was that? I missed it.
I'm really proud of this book. I'm really proud of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's so much better. I've been working on this idea for 30 years, and it is so much better than the book I dreamed of making all that time. And it's 100% because I'm getting to collaborate with my buddy TS. And, you know, I've been building this sandbox and crafting these toys and all of these backstories and all of these convoluted relationships for 30 years. And then having somebody else come in and play in my sandbox with my toys. And like, you know, we both talked over like, out of the grand encompassing 30 years of stories that I have in my head, like what are we going to hone it down to for this first arc? What part of this, you know, epic world do we want to tell first in this first 6 issues? And he really helped, as an editor, helped me hone that down to something that would make an interesting arc and would get to show off enough interesting parts of the world and stuff, and made issue 1 a whole lot better with his help. And then as we were talking over what was going to be in issue 2 and 3, I just hit him up. I was like, "You got time to take a crack at writing the script for it?" And he jumped at the opportunity, and which was great for me because it gave me some more free time to draw books for clients. And what he brought to the table was so interesting. Like, he did things with the characters that I wouldn't have necessarily thought to do yet. He brought them more emotional undertones that I wasn't going to show until later. He takes the story on a whole like couple page U-turn with these side characters on this ship in Neverland that go on their own little side quest for a couple of pages and attempt to save the day. And it's freaking epic, and it's beautiful, and it's heart-wrenching, and I freaking love it. And that wouldn't have been there. It would have been more of my main characters fighting it out and stuff, which is cool, but it just showed how much richer and more interesting this world is, and how much better it is for having people like my buddy TS involved. I'm bringing all this stuff to the table, and then he plays with it, ideas, and gets inspired, which is and gets me inspired, and then that gives him ideas, and back and forth. And the next thing you know, it is so much richer than it would have been on my own, and I am really, really proud of it.
That is the best part, hands down, with working with someone else on a script, is just the cool stuff that you never would have come up with on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole book, I'm kind of mad because I still haven't found the secret stuff. I'm like, I know I'm not looking close enough for at least one of them. I'm just not looking hard enough, because one of them I know I've been told many times it's obvious. And I was like, in my defense, I am still poring over issue 1, so everybody who found it in issue 2 needs to leave me alone, because I've barely looked at issue 2 yet. And I've got reasons for being so attentive to these scripts, or to these books right now, so...
Yeah, not just for no reason.
Yeah, so eventually I'm sure I'll find it, but if not, I'll have to get Jeff on the case, and then I'll have him tell me where it is, and then I'll just steal his thunder and not credit him at all.
I put one secret on there that I honestly did not expect anybody to solve. I put it in there for my own fun, and I was really surprised when Kyron figured it out. And I think he said he took a picture and Googled it and found out what language it was written in, and then translated that language from there. But my buddy Eric Bennett, he recognized the crazy alien language off the bat. He recognized it at first glance. And as we were talking about how he solved it, he's like, yeah, I can almost translate it in my head. I can almost get it all. I had to figure out a little bit of it, but he studied this freaking made up alien language so much. This is epic nerd status. He studied this made up alien language so much that he could just about read it from scratch.
Wow.
That's freaking impressive. You think reciting poetry in Klingon is something. This is impressive. Knowing how to read and write a dead language. From a dead world, it doesn't exist. This thing of beauty. God, I love nerds. Oh, man. And so that's why I like putting this kind of stuff in there. Because I am the type of guy that loves all the little details. And I want to know the why and the what and the where and, how do these things matter. And I like sprinkling all kinds of little things in there that are little leads back to other things and will matter a lot later on in the story and will be major plot points later on, are just one-off things in this issue, and they have the impact they're supposed to have in this issue. But 10, 20, 30 issues down the road, Lord willing, the creek don't rise, you're going to be able to read that issue and be like, oh my God, that's what that was this whole time? And, it's going to be epic. I love that kind of stuff. I'm hiding stuff all throughout here. Throughout the book. Hold on, let me get on the right screen.
I can't wait to see the 30th issue and find that stuff out, because
man.
I mean, already, like, it's a really good book. I don't want, there's no sense in I don't want to spoil stuff for people, and I mean, I haven't read issue 3, so I think it's issue 3 that you're kickstarting now, right? Yeah, this is issue 3.
That's
it's like I haven't. Yeah, I was like, I've only got issues 1 and 2 right now, so so if I missed one, if I got issue 3, I'm missing one, or if it's not issue 3, I was missing.
Man.
Yeah,
Issue
it's
3.
Like, just the first step, just the fishtails, the short in fishtails was really good. Like, just people need to learn to read this damn book.
That was its own challenge, because, like, originally, I love an anthology book. I absolutely love an anthology. Like, Heavy Metal was my favorite book forever, because guaranteed there's going to be something in there. I might not like 3 of the stories in there, but there's guaranteed going to be one story in there that I'm going to love. And just getting to see all the different kinds of artwork and all the different kinds of storytelling, and some of it's going way sci-fi, and some of it's weird fantasy, and some of it's just strange, some of it's wild slice of life stuff in the middle of a French prison that I never knew I needed to see, and all kinds of epic tales of all kinds of weirdness. And I loved the idea of having the freedom to just be able to tell whatever kind of story I wanted to tell. And so I launched Fish Tales, and I was like, I will get to tell my Alice story that I want to tell as part of that, but then I can also leave room for other creators that want to come in and get shorts in there and, you know, have stories in there, and I can tell whatever other stories that I come up with. Because I'm always like, we were driving on the road to Oklahoma, and I got an amazing idea for a horror story that I want to do set in like the land rush prairie days on these wide open fields in Oklahoma, where, you know, I don't want to give away the secrets of it, but it's something that terrifies me about being in those wide open spaces. Always has freaked me out since a kid, so I'm taking that fundamental fear I have as a kid, and I'm amping it up to 11 and making a horror story out of it, and I love it. It's beautiful, and I was looking forward to get to tell stories like that in the pages of Fish Tales. Problem is, nobody else was as interested in the anthology as I was, and understandably, if the anthology doesn't have one narrative thread holding it all together, then it's a lot harder to sell. Like, if this is all things that happened in this crazy world on this day, told by a bunch of different people, okay, that's one thread that we can get behind. If it's all stories about Cthulhu invading Neverland or Oz or something, okay, that's something we can get around, that's easy to sell. When it's varying stories, sci-fi stories from, you know, various universes, is a little harder to pitch. And, you know, when it's got like a short story from Caw and a short story from Green Zone, and then a short from Alice, that was a little tougher sell. So, and then when I was talking with a friend of mine, actually TS, the writer of this, who's also my editor on a lot of this stuff, and wrote one of the shorts in Fish Tales, I was brainstorming on him, like, you know, what do I need to change? What do I need to fix? And he was mentioning that I was throwing so many books out so fast because it was like a new book every month coming from me, and they were all different books. And he was telling me when he would tell people about how he got something published in Fish Tales from Mr. Fish Comics, most people would be like, he's doing another book, and hadn't even heard about it as much as I'd been trying to push it. And it was getting lost in all the books I was pushing. He's like, if you're going to do one thing for the rest of your life, what would you want it to be? Like, would it be Fish Tales? Would it be Caw? Would it be Green Zone? And I was like, honestly, if I was going to just tell one story forever, it would be this Alice story. And he's just looking at me like, why aren't you doing that? I'm like, I don't know, because I are stupid. I don't know what to tell you. So it was his push that actually got me to get off my butt and focus on Alice for the foreseeable future, as long as people want to buy it anyway. And I could be happy telling this story for the rest of my life, and never have a dull moment, and never run out of interesting twists. Because let me tell you, this story goes on like Star Trek. Like there's so many things happening in so many places in so many different times, and there's a lot of epicness going on out there, and we can touch on it all if you go to GoMrFish.com and you back the book, and I get to keep making them.
Go back the book. It's really good, I promise.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not just me either. A lot of people are going to say the same thing. A lot of people think this is a really good book. It wouldn't be on issue 3 but already if it weren't.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that was the one thing, like of all the responses I got from Fish Tales, the overwhelming response, especially like people coming back the next day at cons, was always like, "Oh my god, that Alice story is amazing. I freaking love that. I want more of that." And
I believe it.
That was just more, oh, I'm gonna smack that little wiener dog. That was just more confirmation that, I had to, boy. Oh, that dog. He's like an old car. Like once he gets the engine started, it just won't stop. It just keeps puttering for the rest of the day. It's like barf, barf.
That's the good thing about having cats. They generally don't cause that kind of grief.
Oh,
it's not noise, it's other things.
He has never shredded my couch. He has yet to pee in my wife's purse like my cat has. She hadn't but just moved in. Like the first week, he got locked in our bedroom and ended up peeing in her brand new like leather purse.
Aww.
And like,
well, at least he wasn't doing it out of spite, I hope.
Oh no, it's just it was a
trapped.
convenient spot. It was down kind of low, and he got trapped in the house. Like,
oh, poor guy.
He got trapped in our bedroom all day, and eventually, the boys got to go.
But why not pee in the laundry or something that you could actually clean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't clean a leather purse. I tried. I tried to put a leather purse into the washing machine once because I was like, there's nothing else I can do to fix it. And it just, once a leather purse is ruined, if there's a way to bring it back, I don't know. And from being peed on by a cat, there's a lot of things that don't come back from that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. And now talking about the spite, I lived with some friends of mine. It was one of my best friends and his girlfriend, who was also one of my best friends. I'd known her my whole life, pretty much. And we moved in together in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, after high school for a while. And it was a good time and all. Her cat, her older black cat, did not like me. Never liked me. Didn't like me back when she lived at home with her mom. I don't know if it was because I'm such a big guy. I don't know if it was because I wore all black. Who knows? The cat never liked me. I was never mean to the cat. I like cats. Maybe I squished his tummy a little too much when he was young or something. I don't know. But maybe I did something I don't remember when he was little, playing with him too much or something, invaded his space. But anyway, this cat never freaking liked me. And when we moved in together, it just got worse. And he made a point of letting me know that he didn't like me. And like when I would be working, I had this table in the corner of the kitchen. Well, it was supposed to be the kitchen. It was my drawing table. I got my comics scattered all over it, all my favorite comics that I'm looking at for reference images and stuff, and inspiration and panel layout. And he'd just be knocking stuff off the table the whole time I'm working, just being a jerk. And when that didn't work, he went and peed all over those comics on the table, which, by the way, were all of my absolute favorites from my absolute top tier favorite artists. Like, I had all my favorite books laid out on this table so I could thumb through them and look for inspiration and inking techniques and stuff, because I was trying to master brush inking. Oh, that cat. Oh. Oh yeah, paper products don't come back from me.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Oh, heartbreaking.
That
Speaking of heartbreaking,
I could see where you were going with it as soon as you mentioned the comics on the table, and I was like, no.
yeah, I still kind of have a grudge against that cat. But
Yeah.
if anything, I outlived the situation, and he hasn't. So I've aged
That's
better
fair.
than he has, not by a long shot, but I have. But
That's
speaking
the
of, like,
thing about cats; they just don't live that long.
yeah, that's why I don't have rats anymore. I absolutely loved my pet rat. One of my favorite pets I've ever had. Way smarter than I ever gave them credit for. Like up there with a dog as far as like, smart pets. A little bit harder to train like a cat, but with the right motivation and stuff, they could be well trainable. And he was almost housebroken. Like you would see him recognize, oh, I gotta pee, and he'd start taking off towards his cage, and usually a couple little nuggets along the trail on the way back to the cage. But like he would realize he had to go, and he'd start heading that way. But like a toddler, it was often a little bit late.
But he tried.
Pet. One of the best, smartest pets I've ever had. Loved him to death. But 3 years is essentially like 100-something years old for a rat.
Yeah.
And, a lot of them just don't make it that far. And as much as I loved him, as much as any dog I've ever had, maybe more than some of the dogs I've had, I can't go through that every 2 or 3 years. I cannot. If I can get 7 to 10 years, 13, 14, 15 years, if you're really lucky, okay, I will take the heartbreak every 10 years or so. Happy to. But yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that every couple of years. I would can't do it.
I believe that, yeah.
There's not enough heart to break.
Yeah, I had pet mice and hamsters, and the longest I ever had a hamster live was 6 years, and it's just so sad. You get used to these animals, and they get used to you, and then they're just gone too fast.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of rodents over the years. Like I've had gerbils and hamsters and mice and all. I'm sorry. I'm hearing something crazy outside.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what that was.
Maybe that's why the dog's going crazy.
I didn't know if it was somebody squalling tires the whole way down the road or a bunch of Native Americans doing war cries coming to get us. Like, it was the craziest sounding thing I've ever heard. I don't know what it was. So I apologize. But, yeah. I've had a lot of rodents as pets. The rat, far and above, was so much more personable and smarter, and like it was more like it was closer to having a friend than an animal I was having to take care of than any of the other rodents have been. I've had several reptiles and whatnot. I'm not doing that again, other than turtles, which I just dig turtles. Always have, even before the Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles scratch an itch for me that you wouldn't believe. But I love turtles. Won't have any other reptiles again because they just don't care. They're not pack animals. They don't want to group up. They like, even cats in nature will pack up and make a pride. Like they want to be a part of a unit. And as much as we give them, credit for being solitary animals, like even in the wild, house cats will pack up into a big pride. Yep. So it fits with us. Like, it fits with the way we want to interact with things. And they can be happy in our home being a part of our pack. Like, I don't care how much you think your iguana loves you. Your iguana puts up with you because you feed him. He may put up with you petting him and stuff. He may climb up into your lap because he knows that's when he's going to get the best piece of fruit or whatever. But he's there for the food. He's there for the crickets and the veggies and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
He's a solitary animal. Snakes are the same way. Like, they will put up with you. They're never going to love you. Oh, but my boa constrictor he gets into bed with me and he just lays up right against me when I'm sleeping. Yeah, because he's measuring himself to see if he can eat you yet. Like, it's not because he loves you. He just curls around my neck because he's trying to strangle you. He's not strong enough yet, but you keep him trying. He ain't gonna think twice about it. I'm just saying.
I think snakes are cool, like reptiles are cool, but I don't ever want one as a pet.
I love them. I think they're amazing. I love tarantulas and stuff. I think they're really cool. I love the hissing cockroaches. Like, I came really close to getting some hissing cockroaches at one point. But again, like, that's just an animal that you keep in a cage and you look at. That's a decoration with a heartbeat more than it is like a pet. I always wanted all the exotic pets. I wanted the monkeys and the raccoon and the skunk and a parrot and blah blah. I wanted all the crazy exotic pets. I wanted a chimpanzee. I wanted a zebra. I wanted an elephant. For various reasons, some of them got taken off the board. Like, I realized I'd never have enough spare money to feed an elephant. That was off the board right away. And once I realized how much an elephant poops, I don't want to have to scoop that up. So that took the elephant off the board by like 6 years old. But the rest of them were on there surprisingly long on my list until I really started researching what it takes to care for them and like what their lifespans are like and what they're like in their native communities and what they're going to grow and expect to be able to do that they can't do when they're in a human home. And that made me realize, like, raccoons can absolutely survive and get big and fat in captivity. Squirrels can, skunks, all kinds of animals can survive it and, swell up and get fat on lots of human food and whatnot. But they're never really going to thrive and be as happy as they would be in their own, like, unit. Like a little squirrel monkey is never going to be as happy in my home, where he's always going to be frustrated when he grows to maturity and can't really challenge me for authority of the pack and try and take over, because I'm going to live longer than him and I'm way bigger than him, and he's never going to be able to fight for the chance to get to mate with some of the females, because that ain't going to happen. And that's just a frustrating place to be, like, imagine spending your whole life growing up in a family where no matter how grown up you became, you were always going to be viewed as a toddler and never be allowed to do any of the things a grown woman should be able to do.
Right.
That would be very frustrating. And when I realized that, and I couldn't really be 100% happy in my home, then I don't want them anymore. Like, as much as it would be fun to have one, like, if they can't really be happy and get to do all the things that they would normally be able to do in their social groups and stuff, and eventually become the leader of the pack, or what else, or chase away threats to their territory and all these things, like parrots. I love parrots. I think they're amazing. Having a pet that is so smart and intelligent that, like, me not interacting with it enough could make it go crazy and like want to pull all its feathers out and stuff. That's too much responsibility. Like, they're supposed to be a part of a whole environment of other birds that can communicate their language and they can interact with and they can breed with and they can, bicker over who's getting the best nesting spot and, all those things that they're never going to be able to do in my house. And they're never going to have that kind of social interaction and mind going, no more than I would if I was stuck in a bedroom for the rest of my life, had plenty of food, had a bathroom, had all that stuff, had people looked in the window every once in a while and mimic sounds at me. But if I didn't get to interact with people, if I didn't get to talk with friends and do things and be challenged, I'd be miserable. And they're too smart for that. They're way too smart. They're too smart for me to have to take care of that.
They are. Well, I think there's some people out there that can definitely take care of those animals, but I'm not one of them. Like, I'll stick with cats who are perfectly happy entertaining themselves. And,
and like,
a dog,
if I had all day to spend with a bird, and or it was say my job to raise birds, to work in movies or something, and it's my living to make sure that they're happy and they're entertained and they're educated and they're they have stuff to challenge their minds and keep them active, then yeah, heck yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Like that's the same way I am with fish. Like I love keeping fish, but it's got to be fish that are going to be happy in my tank, not just willing to put up with it, which kind of lowers the number of fish.
Yeah. I have aquariums, and I see too many fish getting abused. Like the goldfish get humongous, and it doesn't matter which style of goldfish you get, you gotta buy them a huge tank.
3 feet. It doesn't matter what little goldfish you get.
Yeah, if it's that big when it's in the store, he's going to get.
He's designed to grow to like 3 feet in length and live like 30 years. They won't because of the conditions we're going to keep them in.
Right.
But again, that'd be like putting a toddler in a room so small he doesn't have room to grow to a full adult. Like, he might survive there for a while, but he's not going to be happy.
I did, like, I always say if you don't have space for like a 55-gallon minimum, then you need nanofish. You need little bitty fish. I mean, you could put nanofish into a 4-foot tank. That's cool. That'd be awesome if you had like 100 little like neon tetras. That'd be a really cool sight. But yeah, like goldfish are not meant.
I love red-eared sliders, but like I would not have one if I did not have like a 60-gallon tank to put it in.
Yep.
So it has lots of room to swim because they were never designed to be in a flat little bowl that makes it easy for me to see and easy to change the water quickly because they foul up their water really fast.
Yeah.
That's
the other thing that I was going to say about goldfish is they're just turd machines. And so are turtles. They're turd machines. It's just the way they are. It's not a bad thing. It's just you got to know that going in. And the pet stores don't tell you that, and they keep them in a box that's 2 feet wide, and they're like, yeah, this is great. No, it's not. They don't keep them in there for very long, and they just watch them as they die, and they just scoop out the dead ones. They don't care.
And then they will encourage you to, and people will do it because it looks pretty and mix all kinds of fish together that have no business being in the tank together with each other. And you put really aggressive little fish in there with very pretty, timid fish that are going to get pecked to death and get their fins picked off and stuff and get harassed. Even if they survive, they're surviving with PTSD, being harassed constantly by these annoying little buggers that are cute fillers and accents for a tank, but that's not what they are. These are little hunters that are supposed to be out, hunting other little things to eat.
And they're also, like, so many times I see somebody's like, oh, I got a neon tetra, I got one minnow. Like, no, they're community fish. You need to get at least 6 of them, so you need to, like, I personally think a tank under 10 gallons, like, should not be purchasable. You should not be able to buy a tank under 10 gallons, and you should,
those
and then,
little
like,
tanks that they sell to kids drive me nuts.
Yes.
And where it's like a gallon, maybe a half gallon of water.
You can't keep a fish in that.
It's so pretty though, and it looks like SpongeBob, and it has a little night light, and I could put it by the bed, and it'd be so cute.
And I could stick a peace lily in the top, and the fish can nibble at the roots. No, that's not what that fish eats. And it's taking up even more space. Although I do strongly advocate for putting live plants in your tank.
Right, because they're gonna die.
Yep.
Because that is the hardest ecosystem to take care of when it's that small. A drop in the wrong direction is going to mess up everything, and it's going to go cloudy, or everybody's going to die, and it's probably always going to stink. Like, the one thing I loved is, like, once you go to like 60, 65 gallons around in there, the upkeep gets really easy.
Yeah, and they don't tell you that when you're trying to get into the hobby either. They just are, start with a 10-gallon. No, start with the very largest tank you can afford. Because it's so much easier to take care of them. I have a tank that's I haven't actually done
6 months without changing a filter at times.
Yeah,
and the water's fine because there's enough bacteria in the rocks and everything. And I didn't have the tank overcrowded with way too many fish and stuff. And everything was working together naturally, and the plants are doing some of the
Yep.
decomposition of the waste, and
Yeah, the plants suck that nitrate out. They love the nitrate. That's why I strongly say advocate for plants in your tank. Like, I have a 20 gallon. I don't remember the last time I changed the water on that. I just top it off because I don't even bother testing the water anymore because it's always fine. It's always fine. And I know that that's a big bone of contention in the aquarium keeping community, but like, my fish are fine. And there's not very many in there, so it's fine.
And that's the thing. If you can balance it correctly, it's easier. And that's something I didn't realize until I was reading a book from the guy that started Boy Scouts originally. And like, I mean, he read a Jungle Book and he fell in love, and he built the Boy Scouts around this idea, which is why everything's named after the animals. Like, there's wolves and bears and all these things. Because it's named after everybody in the Jungle Book, and it's amazing once you actually start reading it. But he did all these fascinating things and wrote a lot of fascinating books for boys at the time, like in 18 whatever, before the turn of the century, for boys to keep them entertained and busy, so they weren't just out running the streets, causing trouble. And a lot of what he talked about in there, there's all kinds of series in there about making aquariums, and all of the aquariums that he built were wide and flat like a pond. And like, the more surface area it had across the top, the easier it was for the oxygen to translate, and the easier it was for the plants to do their work. And it's when we make this big flat column of water that is easy for us to look into, but not natural for how the cycles work in the water and for the fish and the bacteria and everything else, that it gets so complex and hard to keep balanced, because essentially you're turning a lake up on its side and you're trying to walk a tightrope with it and keep it from going off one direction or the other. But these big flat tanks, he could just get planted with the right plants and put the right amount of snails and like crawdads and things in there that are going to eat the waste, and the right bugs and things that he would collect from lakes, and then put fish in there, and they would thrive. And the only thing he would ever have to do would be top it off with water, and the cycle would just keep going the way it had always gone, because it was balanced so much easier. And I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know it was possible to do it that way until I read those books. Sarah's dropped out on us. I bet you it's a connection issue. And I'll bet you she'll probably be back on as soon as she can. But it's really an interesting hobby. And I didn't know how much there was to it that we didn't know, because the hobby just decided to go in one direction and keep it easy to look at, more like a picture frame. And it causes a lot of the problems that we have in tanks that aren't necessary. Anyway, that's off on a side tangent, because we came to look at Alice Lost in Wonderland. Go MrFish.com. Let's trade places here so we can see Alice a little better. That's one of the variant covers that is available this time around on the Kickstarter. We have the main cover that has Captain Hook chasing Alice and Big Ten on a sky cycle, and she's riding her pterodactyl there with her face painted on the underside of the wings amazingly. Sarah's messaging me. I don't know what just happened. Poor Sarah. I'll stall. But anyway, that's the main cover, and then we've got the cover B here that has Captain Hook with her razor sharp hook at the throat of Alice, and Alice doesn't seem to be taking it as seriously as you would think somebody would take in this situation. Why is that? Let's find out in issue 3. You got to back it now. Go MrFish.com. Take you right there. It's available on Kickstarter until 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time next Friday, which we'll wrap it up here on 5-Star Fridays. All right. Sarah says she needs a guest link, so I'm gonna plug a little old guest link here and copy it, and I'm gonna have to log into Facebook because I'm not logged in. Crazy old fishy. Why can't I copy and paste it to my phone? Because I don't have my phone hooked up. so Kyron doesn't send me stupid messages just so they'll pop up on screen during the show. The way a Kyron does. Kyrons are well-known troublemakers. Go all the way back to the old country. The country of trouble. That's where Kyron came from. Trouble is native tongue. That's what they tell me on the streets. And then we have cover C, the Chasm City pinup, that shows the beautiful Alice chilling and maxing off the edge of a cliff in Chasm City, which is featured prominently in issue 2 of, I almost said Green Zone. I've been pitching this book for a month and I almost said Green Zone. In issue 2 of Alice, Lost in Wonderland, available now at GoMrFish.com. And then we got a good image of the poster here, the map of Wonderland that you can get on many of the tiers and as an add-on. And we just showed today, I unlocked some of the milestones and stretch goals we hit right before the campaign launched. We just barely cleared the first pre-launch milestone of 50 followers right before the campaign launched. So everybody's getting the 3-inch rabbit sticker. That's going to be going out to all the physical backers. When we hit $3,500, the metal bookmark is going to be unlocked with this brand new sexy picture of Alice fixing her hair up. Let's call it an extra scene from issue 1. That one little bit that maybe we didn't get to see. Extra little bit from that. I wanted it to be something original, not just reuse a piece of art that everybody's already seen before. I wanted it to be something new. Let's see. What old Sarah say in the message there? Uh-oh, Sarah's having some connection problems. Can't get back in. The next thing that's going to be available, this one we're going to switch over so that you can get the big picture of Uncle Fish's face. The next one is going to be this. Oh, it's backward. It's going to be his Ye Old Cobbler's Shop Limited Interdimensional. Or Ye Old Cobbler's Shop Interdimensional Limited. Sorry, I said it backwards. It's this button pin here. This one's actually a magnet, so I can stick it on stuff and keep it close by. But, you know, when you get in there, it's got one of them old finger spiders climbing out at you. Gonna get you. Gonna get you. Can't have that. Because, you know, people, speaking of finger spiders, Sarah's terrified of finger spiders with a bunch of eyes. She says she can't stand them. Scared her to death. So,
I have no idea what happened there. Is my stuff working?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I can hear you and see you just fine.
I changed browsers. And
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the heck's going on.
I'm telling you, honestly, I need to get with Tessa and get all relogged in on like Google Chrome or something, because Firefox has been giving me no end of trouble with my cameras and stuff. Half the time it won't recognize any of my cameras. And if I go to one of the other browsers, picks it up no problem. And I've moved all of my streaming stuff over to another browser, but I have to have that secondary, you know, sign-in stuff for the Agents of Geekdom network. So I got to get with her on that.
Ah, that is so annoying. What just happened there? I do not know. I'll show you. I took a screenshot of the screen that it kept throwing me into, and so I signed out, and I'm like, okay, this will work now, and signed in with the guest link, or logged in with the guest link here, and nothing still. So I switched to Microsoft Edge. This is what's happening. I'm on Microsoft frickin' Edge.
Yeah, I agree, but
yeah, it works. It's the only
works.
other browser I have on this computer, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, look at that. Mr. Note popping in to say, hey, what's up, Mr. Note? Good to see you, man. You know, I bet you haven't heard, Mr. Note, but as a matter of fact, I got a little crowdfunding campaign. I bet you haven't heard me talk about that for the last week straight. It's available at GoMrFish.com now. I just made a post today. Just made an update on the campaign and showed off the stretch goals and milestone rewards. Like I was saying right before Sarah popped back in, we just managed to unlock. I didn't find out until I went back and looked at the information later after the fact. We just got past the 50 backers the 50 followers on the pre-launch campaign to unlock the rabbit sticker right before the campaign launched. So it got unlocked last minute. I didn't think it had until the other day when I was looking at all the details. But we did. We hit it. So it's unlocked. I'm going to get them made, and everybody's going to get a rabbit sticker. I just got finished designing the new Alice metal bookmark that I'm going to be ordering soon for the first stretch goal that hopefully we're going to hit before it's over, because I'm probably going to go ahead and order them now so they can get being shipped on their way and everything. And then when we hit 100 backers, I'm going to be sending out everybody Ye Old Cobbler's Shop Interdimensional Limited pin with one of the finger spiders coming out on it. I really like the way it came out. It took me a few tries to get an image of it where everything sat right in the thing and came out good. I had it all way too close to the edge originally. There's a little bit of trial and error figuring out how big to make the art, but and like originally I had all kinds of fancy shading and stuff in the lettering, and then when I printed it out and looked at it, it just made it all muddy. So I had to get rid of all that fancy work I did, and the black letters just came out looking a lot better on it.
Thanks here.
Thank you, Mr. No. The bookmarks are awesome.
I'm always
really
on the
proud of
fence about offering bookmarks. Do people like those? Because I am all for putting bookmarks in a campaign if everybody likes them. Particularly the metal ones. Like I don't know about the cardboard ones.
Like I put a nice double-sided bookmark, regular bookmark in the higher tiers as one of the things that I was adding on. And it's got two cool images on that from the variant covers. So I just went ahead and added that in as one of the things. But I've been kind of torn on the metal bookmarks. This is the first one I'm doing on one of my campaigns since like the first couple of Green Zone ones, because everybody started doing the metal bookmarks, and I started hearing from several friends like J-Man that were like, yeah, I'm metal bookmarked out. I've got all I'm ever going to need for the rest of my life. I don't need any more. And, I was like, okay, I get that, and so I didn't offer them again, because I was like, I'm sure lots of people feel that way, because I've gotten a bunch that are like, this is really cool, and then it goes in a drawer or something and it gets lost. I just don't have enough books to put bookmarks in that need them. I get through a comic book and fast need a bookmark. But when I ran my last campaign, I put a little poll on there about like what kind of extras would you like to see, and metal bookmarks were way high in the list. And I was really surprised. Trading cards, metal pins, and metal bookmarks were the top three, hands down. Like I thought it would be hats or something like that. It was those three. And I really I've been wanting to do the trading cards. I meant to do them for this campaign, and I was gonna have them like unlocked at every 50 backers. I just ran out of time to get them done, and I'm trying to come up with the best way to lay out the cards so you're getting the most bang for your buck. Like I want it to have cool information on there that you're not going to get anywhere else, or maybe a QR code that takes you to a secret video or something that gives you information that you're only going to get because you've got this trading card. Like I want to do something cool with it that makes it something you're going to remember you got, even if you don't keep it forever, something you remember. And that's what I want to do. And so because I really want to make it good, I haven't forced it in on this campaign, because I want to make it good. I want to make sure that they're top notch. Mr. Nope says, I've always loved bookmarks, used to make my own in study halls, drawing all over them. Glad to see more in Kickstarter campaigns. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And he says, coins are great too.
Yes,
oh, man.
coins. I have a whole set of like challenge coins that I want to use for my books in the future, and I'm a little nervous about having them manufactured versus, because I have struck a bunch myself because I'm that kind of weirdo. When you got access to the tools, when you got access to a big freaking hammer, sometimes you just gotta make some coins, right?
See, now that I would be interested in hearing more about, because I've looked into it myself. Like I almost did coins for issue 2. I had found a place that makes metal pins, and I could get like 2-inch metal pins without a backing on them. So it basically would be a flat coin with the image, with the 3D image on one side. And I was like, and I got them. I found a place where I could get them for like $2 a piece or something, but you got to buy like 100 or 200 of them or something. And I was like, okay, I'm absolutely going to do this. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to do a new coin for every book, and you know, each one is going to be from a different one of the realms that she goes to. So like the first one would have been one of the
that would be
cobbler
so
coins.
cool. Oh my god.
The first one was going to be one of the cobbler coins that she stole from him off of his desk. And then each book after that was going to be one from like the Dwarven Alliance that rules the Emerald City. One was going to be from the Queen of Hearts. Like every town or area she went to, like it would be one of their coins from their people. And I loved it. And TS was trying to talk me out of it. Like, it's too expensive. And we both know some people that have lost a fortune getting coins made. And now they've got hundreds of these coins that they can't get rid of and nobody wants.
Oh no. Yeah.
And
well, let's talk after the show. I know I'll set you up.
yeah.
I'll set you up.
And TS couldn't talk me out of it no matter how hard he tried. I was like, it's too great. It's going to fit too well with the books and the stories. And I was talking to my son about it, and I was kind of on the fence because TS had been on me about it. And I know a lot of people have a lot of good luck with the metal pins, you know, which is essentially what I was getting without the backing. And I was like, I could get him as coins, or as I could get him as pins. And I was talking to my son, and my son said something that sealed it for me. He said, if you do it as a coin, people are going to look at it, say it's cool, and then put it in a drawer and never see it again.
Yeah.
If you make it as a pin, there's a chance they're going to put it on a hat or a jacket and wear it wherever they go, and they'll see it and other people will see it. And the realization that nobody was going to care about it as much as I care about it. Nobody's going to carry this coin around in their pocket all day. Nobody's going to have it in a big place of honor. You know, like, it's going to go in a drawer or a box or something. And like a whole bunch of swag I've gotten has gone. And that ruined it for me. And that sent me down the idea of making pins and stuff. And now I have a button maker, and made my own button magnets for last campaign. And this time we're doing these as a free milestone reward when we hit 100 backers. Mr. Nope says, whoever Garrett Gunn uses, they're gorgeous. Stamped and enamel painted. Oh, yeah. See, now that is beautiful. Also pricey.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's getting spendy.
And again, that really kind of requires that you've got enough backer interest in that to do that.
Yeah.
And when I get, 100 backers per campaign, and usually about 50% of those are digital.
Yeah.
Out of the 50 people that are backing physically, not all of them are backing for higher tiers. So if I was going to send out, say, 30 of those coins, it's going to be way too expensive to get 30 enamel coins made. Or I'm going to end up having to buy 200 of them, and then that's going to be way too expensive to have to buy for the 30 people that are actually wanting. It's a really great point. You're more likely to keep the coin at home to keep it from scratching it. Yeah, I mean, especially those nice enamel ones.
Yeah, like a bookmark, you use it for stuff, and you decorate yourself with. But the coins, you just kind of you hold them and you show them to people. Like, I understand why people might not be crazy about coins. I like them because I like shiny stuff, but yeah.
And I've had people say, well, you just need to make one of the things you give away at like the end of the year or whatever be a coin holder that you can put the coins in.
Yeah.
And what you've collected up until that point has a place to go and be displayed. And I definitely know probably 5 of my fans for sure would be ecstatic about that. Probably not a whole lot of, but I know 5 dudes who would really like that coin holder.
Fair, yeah.
And, I may still end up doing it eventually. But man, if I could get that backer count up to like say 200 people coming in for each book,
Yep.
then going to some of those bigger, fancier stretch goals will be an easier thing because more of that percentage is going to be getting physical tiers, and more of that percentage is going to be getting a little bit higher tiers, and make it affordable to be able to ship all that stuff out and get it produced. There's no end to cool stuff we could do, man. I'd love to do
Right?
plushies and all things
Oh my
like
God.
that, man.
If money was no object, things would get so weird in the indie comic world.
Oh man, if money was no object, everybody would be getting their own like Big Ten VTuber rig that they could like live stream as Big Ten whenever they wanted. Like I would have absolutely done like one of those stuffed wrestling buddies from the 80s, like the great big stuffed, like Hulk Hogan's and stuff that they had, that was like, half pillow, half doll.
They were called
I wanted to make those for T-Man and Hyperstrike originally, and I really wanted to do it for Call, but I just couldn't find any place where I could get custom fabric printed at good enough prices to be able to make it affordable. I was planning on doing them like those old teddy bear patterns that you used to get like on a bolt of fabric, like you'd get like 2 yards of fabric and it would have the teddy bear pattern all printed out on it, and you'd cut it out and sew it and stuff it, and you'd end up with this bear. I was going to do it like that, make it real simple, print it on sheets of like t-shirt material type fabric, so it would have plenty of stretch to it. I could sew it out, stuff it, shove it in a box and ship it, and it wouldn't be that hard to put together. And but finding some place that could print A on t-shirt material at all, and B then get it down to an affordable price, I couldn't find it yet. I know there's a way to do it. I just got to find the right dealers and stuff. Oh, speaking of, if we hit 4,000 before the campaign's over, we're releasing Captain Hook as an add-on. And she's got her hook, she's got her guns, she's got her cape and her hat and her feathers in her cap. She's even got a gold chest with coins and everything, and a little secret on the other side of the chest that we can't see from here that tells you exactly who she's working for. And that can be yours if we get the $4,000 before the campaign ends next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on 5-Star Friday on the Agents of Geekdom Network. But yeah. And I'm really excited this time that we're offering the mini comics in digital form, because there's a lot of cool little information in the mini comics that is only available in here. And like, while some of my other mini comics are basically like short introductions to the story or short introductions to some of the characters in the stories, like I have one for T-Man and one for Virgil from Green Zone, and it's basically like a short, easy, like, this is who they are, this is what's going on, this is the kind of stuff, this is what the story's about, a little introduction to wet your beak. This one, Alice Lost in Wonderland one, is a whole separate little side story, and much like issue 3, it starts out with Alice being left alone in the tavern for the girls to watch her, and then another kid with white hair named Buster shows up. He just so happens to have just the hilt of the Vorpal sword left. And how does he get it? How does Alice get her dad's sword? Why is it broken in half? Why does Buster have it again here now in the past, and he's just got a little bit of it left? You got to read the books to find out. But they go on their own little side adventure, and it's the first time that we get a glimpse of Neverland, which is called Neverland because there's no place to land. It's all sky and toxic clouds that'll melt the flesh from your bones. And we get the first look at Captain Hook's ship back when Alice was young. It looks very different than it does today, but there's reasons for that. We get a look at the crew. We get a look at Captain Hook. They go on this little adventure. She sees Big Ten for the first time. All of this and more is available in the mini comics, but it's only there. This is the only place that you get all that extra little information, which kind of gets a chance to flesh things out and show you a little bit more about how things work and what's going on and how deep the world is. And, you know, it's cool stuff in there. The books are great on their own. They can absolutely 100% be enjoyed on their own, but you only get all the good little gravy coated juicy bits if you get the mini comics too, which up until now was only available in the physical tiers. But we decided to go ahead and add them on to the digital tiers. So now you can get them there as well. And the digital catch up tier has all the digital mini comics. So you can catch up on the whole thing. And then we got the physical issues. We got the digital deluxe editions that come with like the digital map and the STL files for Rabbit. So, you know,
Oh, nice.
if you don't want to pay for one of the higher physical tiers and get the mini of Rabbit, then you can get the STL files and print your own. You can print your own at 200% like I did this guy here so that he's big enough to show off on camera, because the little guys just never will focus on camera. But yeah, there's lots of cool stuff available.
Yeah, I think that if you've got any, I mean, I don't know how many of those minis that you've sold, but if you got some, you know, D&D or whatever players out there, like, surely these are fun for them. And I just like them because I like tiny little figurines of things.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
all those stupid Disney Infinity characters and the what are those?
100%.
Not Skycraft. Skylanders.
I honestly, like,
And the
I
Wiimotes,
really have enjoyed
Amiibos.
these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm really thinking about maybe offering the 200% size ones next time. I've thought about it because this is a fun size. This is a fun size to paint. This is a fun size little figurine to have around. I don't know if maybe I should scale them better to fit in with something else easier. You know, like they're too tall for my little He-Man miniature guys my wife got me. And there's a lot of things at this scale. Like you can get Transformers and superheroes at this scale. And this is bigger than the 30 millimeter size they usually use in D&D. But this size right here, I think, is pretty cool. But I need to find the right one. But the figures are neat. And like you said, could easily be used, you know, for another character, another kind of thing, and still be fun. Like Rabbit could be just about any adventurer in a trench coat if you really wanted him to be.
Sure,
I mean,
yeah.
you could explain away the digitizer pack and whatnot, and you know, otherwise he's just a guy with a gun and a sword. But I really love that I got to show off the digitizer, which is the thing on his arm, and the big metal backpack that he wears in issue 3. I'll go back up for a second and we can look at that in the pages. But I was really excited to get to show that off because in the script, TS had him stuffing stuff in a rucksack getting ready to go on a mission. And I was like, dude, I've got a much better thing he can use. And we get to show off the digitizer, which up until this point I hadn't had a chance to show yet. And it's this device on his arm that's essentially like, it's a cross between like a Star Trek teleporter and a replicator. Like anything he puts his hand on, the gauntlet will disintegrate and scan and store all the molecules. And the big metal pack on his back is basically a big hard drive, and it stores all the information. And then whenever he needs something, he can just call up whatever he saved it as, and it pops back into his hand. So it's kind of like a digital bag of holding is what I was trying to come up with when I came up with the idea. And I freaking loved it ever since. And then the more I've thought it through over the years, the more like weird limitations and stuff it has to it. And like I realized you can't really scan living organic material with it because like there's just if it breaks down everything and it scans everything and stores all that information, like every cell of, if you digitized my arm and, you know, sucked it up into the machine, let's say, every cell in my arm has the DNA in it to build my entire body from it. It can build toes, it can build teeth and eyes and all kinds of stuff that are not in my arm. But what is this low level computer, going to do with all that information? You're essentially pumping 1,000 instruction manuals into it of how to build a whole fish, and you're only giving it about a cubic foot of fish to work with. So, like, when it goes to recreate it and it has all this information, it is not going to come out the same way. Like, you're going to get a little bit of stomach in there, and you're going to get lots of toes and lots of teeth and eyeballs sticking out in places, and lots of things.
Did you ever see that episode of that scene from Galaxy Quest?
Oh yeah, exactly. Or the fly.
Yeah.
When, like, trying to send things through the teleporter, and it's not going crazy about the flesh yet, and it's not figuring out how to make it work, and it's not going to come out the same way, which gives a really great limitation. Like, that's why he can't, like, just scan Alice and hide her or something, because she won't come out
Imagine
as
if a
well
piece
as you
of
do in
his
the
hair or anybody's hair was just had fallen onto the thing that he just the non-alive thing that he just digitized. Like, he's already got a bunch of DNA in there. And imagine the weirdness that would come out when he just wanted to call back his a pair of pants or something, right?
What is up, Mr. Midlife? Which is a big part of why everything is, like, saved under file names. So, though a lot of times in the heat of the moment when you're, like, in a fight and trying to scan something, to either take it away from a bad guy or, maybe you're out of ideas and you just put your hand on a henchman's head and say digitize, you better remember what you saved his head as, because you don't want to accidentally pull that out, when you're looking for something else.
Yeah.
It also gives him a cool limitation that, like, he can't store food in there. So he has to, it doesn't give him just an endless way to survive on his own by himself. Like, he has to find other ways to feed himself.
Sure.
But it made it a really good tool for what I needed to do, and put enough limitations on it that it's not just super powerful and can do anything magic wand. And I really like it. It's one of my favorite things I've ever come up with. And getting to show him off storing these weapons and munitions and things into his pack was really neat. And then later on you get to see him, pull things out and call up weapons or, whatever it is. I've got one scene for a story I did a couple of years back where he got pinned into a corner on a space station, and these cyber zombies have taken his sword from him and everything, and he's stuck. So he just puts his hand on the glass wall, the plex steel wall there, and says digitize, sucks a big chunk of window into his hand, and they all get sucked into space. And that throws everybody off enough to give him a chance to try and get that sword back, and before he's dead. And it's cool stuff.
See, you guys, you gotta buy the book so that you know what the hell he's talking about, because doesn't that sound cool?
There's so much cool stuff. There's so much cool time travel and multiverse hopping and heists and all kinds of cool stuff happening in here, alongside with generational trauma and trying not to make the same mistakes that your parents made. And like, he's trying really hard to keep Alice safe here in these first pages of issue 3, and he's dropping her off at this tavern where he knows the girls that work there are going to protect her, and he knows the tavern is safer than going on the mission he's about to go on. And so he's leaving her there, but she's a kid and she doesn't want to be left behind, and this is the only person that she really knows anymore. She's lost her home and her family. She can't ever get back to them. She's depending on him, and now he's going out the door to do something that's too dangerous for her. What if he never comes back? What if she's lost here forever and never has anybody to love her again? She's scared for good reason. And he's arguing with her that he can't take her, and she's like, but you promised and you said, and he's like, I know what I said. And as soon as he loses his temper, like, he knows he hurt her, he knows he went too far, he's trying to explain, he's scared, he's trying to do the best he can to take care of her, and then she's hurt and wants him to hurt and yells back at him, you're not my father. And I mean, just, it hurt my heart working on these pages. it was painful drawing these pages because it was too real. And that's one of the things that TS brought to it, man. This is like a real interaction between me and my kids or something growing up. Like, this is one of those hurtful times where things went bad and you wish you could have took it back, and it stings. And he brought that real life pain to what otherwise could be a completely fanciful, situation. But I love what it brings to it, especially at this moment right here, and it shows how things are starting to go bad already for Alice. Like, we only get glimpses of her childhood, but we get to see how it goes from her loving him and wanting to be just like him. And you can see in the first few pages here, she's starting to dress like him. She's got the little medicine bag around her neck the way he has it. She's tying her hair back with a leather strap the way he does. Like, she's starting to emulate him because she loves him and she looks up to him. And this is the only family she has anymore now.
Right.
But then, she lashes out the way kids do because they're hurt and they're scared and they don't have any other tools to work with. And man, it hurts midlife. I'm telling you, man. This one's probably going to make you cry. And you also got high-flying adventures up in the sky. And, what's not to love with Big Ten hanging on for dear life on the back of a sky cycle while Alice flies like a maniac through the skies, being hunted by a one-handed maniac on a pterodactyl. Come on, people. That's a back right there. I'm telling you, man, midlife, you need to get people off of their butts and go back to this book. And while they're there, they can check out the video at the top of the campaign that just so happens to have an awesome rap song written, performed, and a video edited by Mr. Midlife Crisis. My buddy, my brother from another mother.
Very
One
cool.
of the best random acquaintances I ever made on a live stream ever.
I mean, it's wrong. It's wrong to never just for the simple fact that you might get somebody who is cool to talk to. You got to talk to the people when you're on the live stream. But then sometimes you end up getting somebody who does stuff for you, and then you can do stuff for them, and like that's a good that's a good indie relationship.
This is the second campaign he's made an amazing rap for. He did an amazing one for Green Zone. He did this awesome one for Alice that about brought me to tears. And also, swear to God, a couple of lines in it, like 20 issues down the road, you're going to look back at that song and be like, Mr. Midlife knew. Fish told him what was coming and he put it in the song. He don't know. He just so happened to hit on a couple of things in that song. And I was like, oh, dang, did I telegraph that too well, in the beginning? Oh, no, man.
Nice.
I ain't telling him which lines because he'll obsess over it. He's going to obsess over it anyway. But I'm not telling him which lines. But, man, he's saying this dude changed his life. I guarantee you I did, because he didn't even know indie comics were a thing until he scrolled across my live one day. And
wow.
He goes to pick up, like, I want to say it's the first issue of Green Zone out of my TikTok shop. And then a couple days later comes back and buys all of Green Zone. And then he buys like the first issue of Call and comes back and buys all of Call. And then just buys everything that I had in the shop. And since then, he's backing everybody's books. He's buying everything. He's one of the hugest supporters in the TikTok indie comics world I've ever seen. And I freaking love the dude. But, I'm glad to be the one that introduced him to this awesome world of indie comics with all kinds of cool creators like me, like Sarah, like T.S. Luther, like Ezra, Alex, I know is his name, but I call him Ezra because that's a screen name on TikTok. From Lucky 33, John Avina from Avina Comics, Danny Quick, Kyron from Taurus, all those awesome cats, man. There is a 11 by 17 sketch tier that you can get with the book and everything shipped to you, all the extra add-ons, all of that stuff. Nobody's taken that up yet. Just saying, somebody get in there and get some awesome artwork done, and not for nothing. We got tiers with the hoodies and the hats. And oh man, where's the hat? Where's the hat? Where's the hat? There it is. I reset up my whole thing so I could use this microphone and not have to wear a headset, just so I could put the hat on live streams and show off the Cheshire hat that we got this time around. It has him in all of his vicious glory there with his tongue out and everything. And
That is a really good
these
hat.
are fitted caps. They're flex fit, so they got some stretch to them, but they come
Nice.
in like sizes from small to double extra large, which actually fits your Uncle Fish's giant old head, which is quite an accomplishment because I usually have to get stuff custom made to get something big enough for my big old head. So
Nice.
that's pretty awesome, and I think you should back it and get you one today at GoMrFish.com. And now I have him doing animations. You got that right, because I know how to challenge a man. Man, his art is coming along quickly, but his animation is really starting to think. He has got the weirdest animation channel with the craziest story going on. Hatched in Havoc on TikTok. If you haven't followed it yet, you need to go follow it because dude's off kilter. I love him.
I've been avoiding
it's just-
TikTok this year to my detriment. I know that I need to get back on there. I just, I need to. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll go and follow you.
Man, I dropped off after a campaign last year, and other than reposting clips from like live streams I was on,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make anything else for almost a year. I
Yeah.
got so burnt out working so hard for so long, trying to get the word out about Caw and the first issue of Alice and all that stuff for a lot of those videos to get like 100 views. And I got burned out and I got so busy doing everything and trying to keep the lights on here and, get books made and everything
Yeah.
that I'm just now getting back to trying to make some new content and stuff.
Mhm. It's
Got
really
a brand
easy to
new
let stuff like
t-shirt
that
design
slide.
this time. And again, like the metal bookmark, this is a brand new design specifically for this t-shirt, thanks to Mr. Midlife, as a matter of fact. Because we were talking about hats and stuff, and he gave me some feedback on a hat that he got and why people liked it and stuff. It really inspired me to make a new design specifically for the shirt that is just cool because it's cool. And, it's just a striking image because it's striking. And somebody would want to rock that just because she looks sexy and the cat looks cool and,
Mhm.
whatnot. And then we got, for the hardcore fans, we got the hoodie, we got the hats, we got the add-ons with the mini comics and the mini figures. You can get them physical, or you can get the STL files and print them yourself. You can get the back issues and the other t-shirts and the acrylic figures. We're printing the book again here in Arkansas at Arkansas Graphics. So I should, Lord willing, and creek don't rise, knock on wood, should be willing to ship everything out into September. Should be ready.
Wow.
Mr. Nope says, it's good to hear. I have a big head too. I'm telling you, this double extra large fits me great. And actually, surprisingly, has plenty of room with the stretch in it. Like,
For when you
I
grow your
fit a
hair back
hand
out.
in there. Let's see. Also says, I'm going to have to only wear the t-shirt when the lady's out of town. Yeah, well, I can understand that. I tried to make it not too. I don't want anybody getting slapped walking into the store, but I can understand if you wiped it. Raise an eyebrow. I can understand. Absolutely. Anyway, it's a cool campaign. You should go check it out. Go to MrFish.com. And if you've already checked it out, if you've already backed it, if you've already supported it, thank you so much. I truly appreciate each and every person on there. I appreciate every physical backer. I appreciate the heck out of every digital backer because I love digital comics myself. I'm a huge digital supporter. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody that goes on and backs just for $1 or something just to be supported. Thank you all so much, and thank you for everybody that shared the campaign out. for the people like Mr. Midlife that have made videos and stuff, that's freaking awesome. I love you guys for that. John Avina made a really awesome video shouting out the campaign. But the shares mean so much, getting the word out there, because I can bust my butt trying to make cool posts and stuff and get seen by 2 to 12 people. Facebook isn't going to show anything that I don't pay them to show to people. And, Instagram and stuff doesn't hit a whole lot more. I'm getting more traction on Blue Sky than I'm getting anywhere else.
Wow.
So thank you so much for everybody that is sharing the campaign out. Hopefully your friends are going to see it more than my friends will see it. But thank you. And if you have an opportunity and you want to go to GoMrFish.com and you want to give the campaign a share out from there, I would really appreciate it if y'all did it again, just to get it out again, because even if you shared it once or twice, 80% of your friends probably never saw that. So, maybe give it another share. I wouldn't even be doing this today if a friend of a friend hadn't shared something their friend had posted, and that got me my first job inking an indie comic, which made me friends with my buddy Eric, which ended up leading to the whole freaking career I have now. And it's all because a friend shared a campaign post from a friend, and he got me a job. So share, baby. Sharing is caring. Man. But anyway, thank everybody so much that's supported it so far. I can't wait to see how far it goes. I can't wait to hear what people think about the campaign and everything when it's done. I'm super excited about where the story's going. I'm super excited about what it's leading up to. This has been a book that I'm really proud of. Like, there's very little I could criticize in these books so far. And often I'm my harshest critic. I'm like, oh, well, we could have done that better. Or maybe the action could have been more over the top. Or, maybe there could have been, more quiet time or something, because Kala is kind of like, hack and slash the whole time. I'm really proud of this story so far. Like, there's lots of action. It's bloodier than I kind of expected it to be, but like, when you're a bounty hunter and you slinging bullets around and whatnot, like, people's heads are only so tough and things happen. But there's action, there's adventure, there's all kinds of cool alien creatures and stuff everywhere. There's all kinds of cool worlds crashing together in this interdimensional rift. There's all kinds of drama going on. There's so much real emotional points hitting. There's fun moments that are taken right out of some of the funnest things I've ever done with my kids. There are some painful moments that come like right out of those break your heart dad moments. There's so much good stuff. I'm telling you, I'm really proud of it, and I hope you check it out. That's all I got to say about that. Thank you for coming on and hanging out with me tonight, Sarah.
Yeah,
so
no
much.
problem. It's been fun.
I really appreciate it. It has been fun, especially going off on a tangent about keeping aquariums and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I tell you, I wish I could remember what the guy's name was now. Something like Bear or something, or Bryce. Anyways, guy started Cub Scouts. But the whole thing that he did with those flat, like pond-like aquariums, he could get those things set up and balanced to where they would last for years, and all I'd ever have to do was add more rainwater to it.
Yep.
And it was so cool. I've really wanted to do one like that. It just takes up a lot of room. But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for taking me down tangents I wouldn't have gone down otherwise. Where can they find you, Sarah?
I am at Definite Article Creative pretty much everywhere. You can indefinitearticlecreative.com if you want to go check out some books and stuff that I've got available. And I better put up my new campaign launching September 9th. I got a new campaign called Noctiluca coming out. And we've got, this one had a little bit of a false start last year, but it's going to be back and for real this time. And I've got a bunch of new covers. I've got new merch to show off. Like, it's going to be fun. And that one, if you go to luca.definitearticlecreative.com, it's LUCA. and you can go follow the pre-launch for that. It's going to be on BackerKit as part of their Printopia event. So.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I'm excited for you for that.
Thank you.
The BackerKit Comictopia was where I launched Alice Lost in Wonderland in the first place. Did really well for me, and brought in a lot of new people over there on BackerKit that don't go, that have never hit on my Kickstarter stuff before.
Yeah,
And,
that's what I'm excited about. It's like I can find some new people who might be interested in a space opera with pretty ladies and stealing stuff. Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about a pretty lady and her crew, and they steal stuff. But they don't always commit crimes. Kind of think like Firefly and Cowboy Bebop and like a soap opera, kind of like that. If you're into that idea. Like
they're not law abiding, but they're also not like Al Capone.
Yeah, they sometimes like the tagline is sometimes you need something and you can't get it yourself. So what do? You call these people. That's
exactly.
What you do. And
I know a guy. Hold on. Let me make a
exactly. And they tend to it just so happens that they tend to do jobs for wealthy people because those are the ones who can pay. What are you gonna do?
I'm telling you, go where the money is.
Yep.
That's your Uncle Fish's motto. That's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to get over there and check that out. Go to BackerKit, support it on Printopia, right? This time around.
It's running from September 9th. September 9th through September 30th, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, September 30th is my birthday, so if my book doesn't fund, you guys
come on, people.
So sad on my birthday, and come on. You don't want to do that, right?
Do me a favor and go follow the pre-launch page as a pre-birthday present for my girl Sarah, and give the book a back. I'm going to be there for sure. I'll be there first day, most likely, unless like I end up in the hospital or something. Otherwise, I'm going to be there first day backing it, and you should too. And if you need to find me, I'm Mr. Fish Comics everywhere, the TikToks, follow my YouTube channel, because me and my buddy Esteban from Ultra Comics, we're doing a Wednesday show, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 Central, every Wednesday afternoon. Roll for Hero, where we roll up a new set of powers every Wednesday, and then we both design a character off of it. And we could not design more wildly different characters each time. It's been really interesting, really fun. You can go find the back issues on my page or on Esteban Carrero's page. Mr. Fish Comics might be easier to spell. Go find it. He's linked in everything. Give him a follow too. Check out the YouTube. But more importantly, go check out GoMrFish.com. It'll always take you to the hottest new stuff from your Uncle Fish, which is right now Alice Lost in Wonderland issues 1 through 3. Available until this time next week. And thank you for being here, Sarah. And for everybody else, peace out.